Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever PT podcast brought to you by Crossroads Community Church in Lindale, Texas. My name is PT, and I am super excited to bring this podcast to you. I am joined today with my podcasting partners, Todd Bergin. Say hi, Todd.
What's happening?
And the bald beauty himself, Steve Howard.
Hey, what's up?
Never lacking in desirable quirks, quirps, I guess. Quips. I don't know what the word is. Yes. All right. Well, for those of you that are listening today, this is the first time, I want you to know you're in for a real treat. We're going to kind of give an introduction to the people that will be on this podcast every week. We want to make sure that we not only keep you entertained, but we're answering relevant and real questions. So obviously today is going to be a banner day to commemorate our first ever PT podcast. And I can't tell you how excited I am about this podcast. I'm just overflowing. I'm brewing with excitement inside of me. It's either that or it's the Whataburger that we just ate. So every week we're going to be tackling, I don't know what it is, but every week we're going to be tackling everyday life stuff with real stories about God doing things that will amaze you and build your trust and faith in Him. This week, we're kind of just going to introduce ourselves, not only ourselves to the podcast system, but also we're going to introduce ourselves to you and give you a chance to learn something about the panel of hosts on the show. So to introduce you to us, we're going to kind of give you a fun way of learning about us, and we're going to do a game we like to call the Top 5 game. So what the whole purpose of the Top 5 game is obviously somewhat cheesy, which is why we had the game show.
I love it.
I think it's, yeah. Don't you like it?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So what we want to do is we want to label our top 5 things that we love. We're going to go through that first. And then the next part is going to be the top 5 things that we do not like. And then we're going to kind of transverse into discussion in the middle of those things. So we're going to start with a person on our right, the one that's the most beautiful in this place. Obviously, that's Steve Howard. Yes. Wow. And Steve Howard, well, the reason why I say that is because he spends so much time in the mirror. How can he not? How can he not be? And I think we all can know that there's someone in our lives that spends some time in the mirror. And it's obvious. Look how beautiful this guy. Look at his beard.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah,
nothing like mine.
Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, we don't. Yeah, for those of you at home, there's
I like red beard over there too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just look. The color is.
Yeah,
it's fake.
I want to. Oh, it's fake.
It's fake.
I color it.
To say it isn't.
Got to cover that gray.
Oh Lord,
I had no idea that you had, and I'm lying, but I had no idea that you were coloring that thing. So anyways, all right. So we're gonna go with the top 5 with you, man. What are the top 5 things that you can it'd be loved to hear? And please, let's stay away from the obvious answers of. I think we all love Jesus. I hope that we all love Jesus. If not, this is going to be a really interesting podcast. I think we all. Hopefully, every one of us are married, so hopefully we love our wives.
Yes, I love you, Lorraine.
I'm glad you clarified.
She's in my top 5. I just want to make sure she knows that.
He was looking at you.
Oh, I love you too, Tim. You're in my top 5.
I don't know. What did you do wrong that you had to make sure to tell her this? You know, it's like, well, I want to make sure I tell you.
I just want to make sure I'm right.
Flowers are coming.
So here we go. You're going to go to the top 5, and we obviously know that we love our kids, we love our wives and stuff like that. But give me top 5 things like you personally, in your experiences, or the things that you just absolutely love.
Okay, so top 5. I love people. I love friends, of course, and hanging out, having fun with my friends. With people, you can always love people, and you can always learn from people by just watching them, learning from them. You can learn what to do, or you can also learn what not to do. So, people, yeah,
that's true.
I like people. I like to be around people. You like to make people laugh. I like to make people laugh. I'm not as good at that as you are, but
wow,
Tim,
it's a competition.
Yes, and you win, buddy. I'm just telling you. I bow.
Whatever, man.
You're awesome.
Okay, there you go.
The
first no of the day. The first no of the day.
Okay. Let's see here. Unfortunately, just like most people, I love to eat. I love good food, good steak, good baked potato. Yeah, I know you like pizza, but steak is for me, man.
Hey man,
He's
I
a
don't.
carnivore.
I like steak and potatoes.
There's nothing wrong with a good steak.
Yes.
Nothing wrong.
I agree.
I'm totally about with a good steak. Anytime that you go to a good steak, I think that
It's a win-win.
Absolutely. All right. So you got your we got your people.
Yeah.
We got your
Food.
Food. Well, you said people, friends, hanging out with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Food.
Food.
Two more, dude. You're not getting out of this that safe.
Okay. Let's see here. Man, top 5.
Don't take any of
See
mine
here.
now.
Oh,
You can. You can.
No, I'm just kidding.
see here. I love my car.
Ooh.
Now to his defense, I would say that would be a cop out answer. But have you seen his stinking car?
I like the fact that I finally got my car that I've always wanted since I was a kiddo, like young. Like finally got that car. Got old.
Well, why don't you? So the people at home can know what in the world is your car, bro?
It's a Lamborghini. I'm just kidding. I wish.
I don't know what he's doing to this podcast, right? I'll tell you.
Hey man, I'm calling things ours or not, and they're very much not. No, I have a Dodge Challenger RT.
Challenger RT, huh?
Yep, with a standard shift. So, like, it's just a fun car. I like going out with my wife in it.
He likes to drive.
Yes.
That's 4. You got one more, but no, hold on.
Okay,
But I want to expound on this. The top. It's a black Dodge
Challenger
RT, which is that classic body look.
Yes, that's what I like about it. The classic body look.
The rekindled body look. Yeah, and it's an all man car. When you get in, you get hair on your chest.
I like the roar of the motor. Yes.
I have seen a lot of women that drive that car too.
I know there's a lot of women who drive that car.
Evidently,
same car.
Evidently, there's a lot of women.
It's because it's the roar. They like the roar. That's the man part of it.
Evidently,
they feel like they're.
I'm just going to say, evidently, when I say this, and I'm meaning this to be truthful, when you get in, there's hair that grows on your chest. Evidently, there's a lot of hairy chest women then.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I'm just saying, if that's the byproduct of buying that car, you're gonna have that. But anyway, so we.
And of course, the obvious. I love to sing. I love to lead worship. That's So I love to sing and lead worship. That's where my heart really is. I love it. It's just I love leading people into God's presence.
How long have you been doing it, Steve? How long have you been singing and not leading worship, so to say, but how long have you been using that talent for the Lord?
I started at 12. Singing at a kids musical, of course, and then from there started doing competitions, and then by the time I was 13 or 14, my best friend Tim showed up on the scene. We competed against each other in Fine Arts Festival.
Who is Tim? Who's this guy?
Tim Letsch. They also call him PT.
PT. TP is when he's in the bathroom, but obviously yes. Okay, yeah, they call me PT, and that's who he's talking about, folks. Let the mystery be out. Steve knew me when I was just a young lad who was trying to compete against bald, beautiful men. Yes.
Yes. It was fun.
You weren't bald then, though.
No, we both had lots of hair then.
Yes. That's true.
Yes.
It's very true.
Not like now.
Let's not talk about that
anymore. We used to compete against each other, and then we went to college together and roomed with each other, and then sang together on the Harvesters travel team, and
which was it was kind of like a show choir for ministry at
show
Southwestern.
Choir. Yeah, that's what it was. That's a good way to put it.
It was like a very holy.
But we were giving God the glory. It was that He was the show.
I think you actually sang that song, "Give God the Glory."
I think I did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I had an excerpt, I'd play it, but we're not going to do that.
No.
Yeah. All right. So
for Christ,
no, and let's not do that either. All right. So for we've got people. We got like hanging out with friends. We've got food. We've got the Dodge Challenger RT with a V8 engine and a guarantee that when you get into it and fire it up, it puts hair on your chest. And then number 5 is I love to worship the Lord. And
I probably should have put I'd love to worship the Lord on the first one.
Well, we could say that this is in no particular order. These are just 5 things that you love.
Yeah.
You didn't give me no homework, man. You said, here, boom,
well,
top 5 loves. And I'm like, man,
that's probably the way this is going to roll.
So much things. I mean, because I don't like to hate nothing. I strongly dislike some things, but I don't.
Well, we won't say top 5 things that we hate. I'll just say top 5 things that we just don't
like.
We don't like it's pet peeves, that kind of thing. But right now we're still in the top 5, so that's good. That's very, very good, Mr. Man. I'm trying to find my good button. This is a very good thing. There you go. He has earned with his answers. You guys give me a little bit of time because obviously I'm not very good at this button pushing thing yet. We're gonna get there though. It's just
that's not what Cheryl says.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Oh.
Thank you.
He can push the buttons with her.
He's not wrong. I'm just saying. All right, so now we're going with Todd. Todd, what in the world? Everybody, this is Todd Bergin. Todd Bergin is my buddy, partner in crime here at Crossroads. He's the ag pastor here at Crossroads, and doing a thing called C3 Serenity Farm, which is a brand new venture for Crossroads Community Church. You'll hear more about that in podcasts to come, but we are excited. And I didn't tell you this about Steve Howard. Steve Howard's the worship leader at Church on the Rock in Quitman, and he leads worship there with his wife, Lorraine. Oh, you want me to do that for you? Okay, he's telling me please put that in there again. I would have said something else about it anyways.
Oh, Lord.
Anyways, all right. So that's Steve Howard over there, and he's been my buddy since pre-college, almost mid-high school. I was 14 when I met you.
Yes.
Well, actually, I think it was 13 when I met you.
Yes.
So we've been friends for a long time. And Todd came on the scene, about 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and there's a big story behind that. We can tell that a little bit later. But for now, let's do the 5.
Okay.
What is your top 5 things that you are just...
Well, now that you've mentioned the Serenity Farm, obviously growing vegetables and that sort of thing, farming is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's why I want to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing, being that this isn't in order.
It's not. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. Okay.
It doesn't have to be.
So peanut butter.
Oh,
peanut butter. Yeah.
I love peanut butter. Peanut butter on anything.
I think it's something that honestly, I think it's
with jelly.
Absolutely, but I think it's something. Yeah. I think it's something that
honey.
is
Bananas.
Yep.
Yes, that's true. But I think it's something that you take for granted.
The peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Yeah. I mean, the fact that you said that, I'm like, you know what? I can say that's in
peanut butter.
Yeah. He just all encompassed it with food.
I like to watch my dog eat peanut butter.
Well, it's entertaining, to say the least. Hours of entertainment right there. Depends on how big of a spoonful you stick on the roof of their mouth, but that's
or on their tongue or on their nose right here.
Put it on their nose. There you go.
Yeah, that's what this podcast will do for you folks. How to torture your animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to give you just that visual. So obviously, peanut butter comes along with cooking. I love to cook. So
great.
So you got you like to farm, you like
farm,
peanut butter, you like to cook.
Like to cook. Love camping. Yes.
Yeah.
Do the outdoor thing.
Well, that's a big for me. I don't like that at all.
Oh, yeah. Tim, you don't know what you're missing, brother.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
no,
it
is not. The survey says, okay, it's just no.
Just think about it. Under the stars with God.
Air conditioning?
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
See, you're going camping. You're going camping in the wrong time. You need to go in November. It's nice and cool.
I'm okay with that.
See?
I'm okay with that in an air mattress.
Without or with?
No, with an air mattress.
Oh, yeah.
With an air mattress and a just in case, because in Texas you just never know. It's going to get 105 in November. You know that.
Yeah, just get one of those house tents.
No, I'm just going to get with the big old huge what they call an RV.
Yeah. No, they have tents that are houses. They're like a little house and got bedroom and.
I got a 10 by 20. It's got 4 rooms in it.
Yeah, but dude, they don't make them for giant people.
Yes. Sure they do. No, they fit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tall.
You can walk around in it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't get a back hernia from it?
Nope.
You don't have to lean over for nothing.
No, you feel like
and
you're
I'm not believing
to grab the zipper.
House.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. No, can you put your air conditioning in the window? I
don't know that you can put it in the window. A little bit of duct tape.
I don't know about that.
Might look like the Red Green Show. But
I mean, it's your top 5. It's all good. Camping is out for me, but that's okay. That's your thing. Number 4, that's camping. Okay. Camping. Well, he's a farmer.
Yeah.
And he loves peanut butter.
I do.
Yeah. And what was your third one again? You like to cook. And now
I like to eat.
Now it's camping.
Camping. And now what? What's number 5?
Number 5, I would have to say fly fishing.
Ooh.
Really?
But I haven't got to do it a whole lot since I moved to Texas.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
But I do have a brand new rod that I got for last Father's Day.
Nice.
Wow. I can't wait to throw some tippet on it. And let's see what I can do.
Okay, hold on. See, I don't even know what that means. Throw some what?
Tippet.
Tip it.
Yeah. It's the end piece.
Tip it. Probably end.
Yeah,
When a problem
it's a
comes
special-
along, you must
it's
tip
a-
it. Yeah.
Tip it.
Yeah, tip it.
Tip
Yeah.
it.
Oh, now
Pop
we
it.
need the song.
Yeah, I
Tip
wish
back.
I had it.
I don't know.
I don't. If I had it queued up, I'd done.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just tip it.
There's nothing right about that at all. Yeah. All right. So it's just the
It's
fly?
just it's the line. You have you have a backer line, and then you have a regular line, and on the end of it, then you place your fly. But yeah,
Okay.
leader line.
Wow. Okay. So that's actually that. It shows a broad spectrum of differences between us. Well, not too bad. I think you fit together pretty good. The two
and Steve?
panelists already.
No.
You like to cook. He likes to eat.
Yeah, I could cook. You could come over and eat.
I can do that.
You got some things that are in common too. I mean, you like food, and he likes peanut butter.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We're like twin brothers.
Yes.
I mean, wow. I had no idea how much we had in common.
Okay, so
Yeah.
anyway, if you saw them, you'd understand why I said no. All right.
Yeah,
They are
short guy and a big tall guy.
It's just saying it's not. All right, so my top 5, no particular order.
Yeah.
No particular order. Although I'm pretty sure that these will probably be not
Close.
in any order. Yeah, and in fact, next week it may change. Yeah, because I'm just temperamental that way.
I hear crickets.
Yeah.
No.
I don't have that queued up. Hold on now. Here we go. Yeah. All right. So they may change, and you might find out that next week you're in the top 5 of the ones that are
That you love?
That you're on the pet peeve list.
Oh.
And then when you see me, you'll be like, yeah, you don't want that to happen. So, anyways, I'm just wanting in a button pushing mood there. All right. So obviously one of my top 5 is to push buttons. I like to do that.
All right.
Well,
Yes.
Steve said that you do that with
Yes,
your wife.
I can do that quite often. Yes, in multiple ways, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. Yes, yes, I like to do those. Pushing buttons. Aggravation is a Letsch trait, obviously. So that's my last name. I don't think we can probably say that on air. Can we say
Last names?
last names on air? Are we allowed to do that?
I don't see why not.
Howard.
Bergin.
Letsch. Okay, I guess we can. So yeah, that's my last name. PT Tim Letsch. Anyways, okay, number 4. Since we're counting down, I love music. I absolutely love music. I like to listen to it. I like to sing it. I like to write it. I like to perfect it. It's a blessing and a curse, but I enjoy music. I like to do that. 3. What you want to talk about? Number 3, I like sleep.
Sleep?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Like
think
in a hammock, on the bed?
yes.
All the above.
Yes, all of the above, bro. If anywhere you
On
can
a
catch it, but if you can catch some wings on a rock, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm okay. I like sleep. Sleep is important.
I
I
like
think
sleep too.
Yeah, it's one of my top things. I think because sometimes I just don't get enough of it.
Oh.
And so at the end of the day, you're like, that bed, that rock, wherever it's at, I don't think that could be that because I don't like camping.
I was going to get you on that one.
Yeah, I don't like camping, so I don't think I'd want to sleep on a rock.
No.
But I wouldn't mind doing
A bed of sand.
No, I've seen the ones where the hammocks that are like way up high in the tree.
Uh-huh.
I think I could probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
You got to climb the tree, though.
Well, that's okay. I mean,
Okay.
you can get a lift or something.
Ladder.
Or a pulley. Yeah, pulley system. Yeah, I don't know. Get somebody to climb it there for me, and then they'll lift me up. That's what wives are for. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they lift you up.
That's right.
That's right.
Down. Yeah.
They always do.
Yes. That's why they're so strong.
2, I love people. I do too. I like to talk to. I'm finding out the older that I get that I have a lower tolerance.
Patience?
No, I don't know if it's patience. I don't have a lower tolerance than what I used to. I used to be able to excuse, well, there must be something that I don't know about things and be able to empathize a little bit better. But now it's like, the excuses are wearing thin. If that makes it's harder to, I don't know what you call it, but as time goes on, I have less and less of a tolerance for people's stuff sometimes. Not saying that you can't come to me and talk to me about stuff. I don't have a problem with that. It's, do you understand what I'm saying?
It's the excuses.
Well, no, it's just,
No?
It's people. Okay. When you go out into the world and you're at a Walmart and somebody is talking about how bad this is or how bad that is. And there was a time where I really just was okay with with all of the gripes, all of the things like that. And the older that I'm getting, the more I'm becoming less tolerant. I'm like, well, why do we need to be, what's the purpose of that? Why do we need to? So I don't know if it's because I don't like people. It's not because I don't like people. I love people. It's just that I'm finding less and less that I don't want to deal with the drama that comes along with them sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I didn't know if I was making sense. Sometimes I talk a lot without making sense. And then my number one, obviously, is I love theology. Yes. I love to talk about God. I like to talk about in real ways, not just mamby-pamby, wussified stuff that you'll hear everywhere. I want to answer the deeper questions. I want when people are able to come and talk about stuff, and I want to be able to answer scripturally what that means. And so, and I obviously have found places where I can do all of those things. I play at bars and clubs and play classic rock bands, and I'm able to have theological discussions with people that are sitting there at a table. And then I come to Crossroads on Sunday, and I get to have theological conversations with people here. And so pretty much my life is inundated with the understanding of who God is. And that's what theology is, how we think about God. And a lot of people don't think that's important. But I honestly believe it's one of the most important things that we can be a part of. If we have a bad understanding about who God is, it'll shape everything else in our life. And so that's why I'm pretty passionate about it. So that's where I stand on that. That's my top 5. All right, now let's go to you, Steve. Let's talk about, and I'm supposed to do a segue song here, but I don't have a segue song. So I'm not going to do a segue song. We're just do one more round of 5. 5 things that, and I have a feeling that we'll probably talk about these a lot more. But 5 things that these are pet peeves. These are things that you don't like. Not hate. We don't have to use hate, but top 5 things that you just are not a fan of.
Well, of course, I don't like when people are deceitful and they lie to you.
You don't like liars.
Mm-mm. And especially if they lie about you particularly and spread lies. I don't like that. I don't like whenever you're putting your best effort and to do your job or do something for somebody else, and it's like it's not good enough. I don't like, and they just treat it like it doesn't, like it's not good enough for them. Like, and you're giving your everything, and I don't like that.
I don't like that. You don't like liars. You don't like people that don't appreciate the work that you're putting in, and it seems like it's never enough. Bottomless pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that could
it's like, you just can't never satisfy them, no matter how hard you try. I don't like that. Let's see here. I don't like going to the gas pump right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. That hurts. Especially driving that car.
Every time. Yeah, well, I do have the Hemi, but it's still worth it. I just
9 miles to a gallon.
My foot has come out of the
floorboard
accelerator as much now because yes, gas is.
That's why you never let me drive.
No, I let you drive. It's fun.
Just you fill up the tank.
Your foot's a lot heavier than mine, Tim.
Sorry, officer.
It's his car.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I don't like fake people. People that show something in front of you, and then behind your back they're somebody else.
Two-faced.
Yeah, I don't like two-faced or fake people. I like real people. Now, I don't like to judge people. I always give people I want to always look at the best and believe the best unless they show me otherwise. Okay. I don't want to. Let's see, 5. One more. I don't like when my kids half do their jobs.
When they what?
Like they have their chores, and it's like they do just enough to show that they've done something, but it's like they barely did anything, and then you have to go and tell them to go back in there and do it again, and then they still keep. I think there's a curse word. They half something, do everything, And I'm like trying to teach them that that's not a good thing because that's not going to be good when they get.
You're saying that they
work.
have it.
Yeah, half. Yes, that's right.
We don't. For those of you that are listening at home, and I think that they will probably listen to this, we don't like it when you do jobs half. Yes, that's right. So
we didn't say it though, just so you know.
We want people to be real and not two-faced, but yeah, we don't like it when people are half guessing it. All right. So, anyways, that's the way that goes. Okay. So you don't like it when people spread lies. You don't like liars. You don't like bottomless pits when people work and it doesn't ever seem to be enough.
Not appreciative.
Not appreciative people. That's a good way to put that. Yeah. And
ungrateful and
ungrateful. You don't like the gas pump prices right now.
No.
Yeah. And you don't like it when people work just enough to get by.
Well,
mainly your kids.
Mainly my kids. It's
How many kids you have, Steve? You don't have to get into the complicated story if you don't want to, but I'm just saying, like, how many kids you got?
Okay, so I have Ian. He's 13.
Mm-hmm.
I have Tessa. She's 4. She's about to be 14. And
give me a number, bro. They probably don't want their names splattered all over the place.
How many?
You can name them if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, how many?
Yeah. How many I have? I got to count them that way. Okay.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
13, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's a lot of kids.
Good grief.
Well, this is what happens when Snow White meets the father of the Brady Bunch.
Okay, I think there's 11 altogether.
What? What did you say?
Let's see here. I've got 3, and then she's got 8. So together we have
11.
Good grief! You took that command, be fruitful and multiply. I mean, seriously, boss.
Well, she adopted 6 of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. Man, that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
And he's already expressed he doesn't like people that have it. So
that's right. Do it all the way. Don't do it at all. Do it or go home.
All right. So that was Steve. Steve, those are really good. I do have something to say about that, though, and I think that's probably going to be a good moment of podcast. I don't think we can do it today because we're not organized on it, but to talk about this myth of non-judgment thing. I have a very vehemently against that tone. I honestly think that there's not that we should go around going, you're bad and you're bad and you're bad. That's not out. But I do think that God gives us
discernment.
Not only discernment, that requires judgment in itself. Being able to hear the voice of God, and he's making a judgment call within you. But also, I think he's given you a brain to be able to discern whether or not something is or is not good. I think he's given you the brain to be able to judge whether or not something is safe. And so I think it's a good podcast material. But I think that people say, I don't want to judge you. But I think even then we're approaching a time where I think that's going to become very difficult for us not to do. There's going to be definitive lines that are drawn, and you're going to have to judge whether or not something is or is not of. Even the Bible, it says, "What you shall know them by their love for one another." And if
fruit.
Right, so if you got the fruit, you're judging. Obviously, you're judging fruit, right? I mean, you're looking and seeing, well, that's obviously not an apple. I don't want to align myself with, you know what I mean? So we can talk about that later. 5 things with Todd. That was just a random moment with Tim.
Going down the rabbit hole.
I mean, and also, Tim, the Bible says to believe the best. That's what love is. So because God believes the best in us. So we still need to have discernment. And the Holy Spirit gives us that, but I just want to believe the best about everybody before they tell me otherwise.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm not saying that we don't believe the best, but I'm also not saying that we stick our heads in the sand and say that we're not allowed to judge what they're doing in the moment.
Yes.
I can believe in the potential of somebody without enabling them to continue on the path that's going to destroy them.
I agree.
And so you have to judge on those, especially as a person that's called to pastor or to, and like with our kids, we're all pastors, whether we know it or not. We're all shepherds. And as kids are coming into our lives, or as we're parenting or anything like that, we have to make those judgment calls.
Yes.
And I think the current Christian culture at this moment is very anti, and they do, well, don't judge. And they take Matthew 7 and they try to make that the definitive line about, well, this is what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to judge people. I'm like, well, what exactly? And I think that's something that we need to, that's a topic that we probably need to talk more about.
Yeah.
Because that topic alone is destroying a lot of people from being able to discern and to be able to feel like it's okay to make a qualified call, to make is it safe to put somebody here? Is it? And I don't think anybody would say, well, you can't make a judgment call when you're at a light.
Yeah.
But you can't make a judgment call when you're looking at somebody. And I don't think that's, I don't think anybody.
A personal thing.
Well, yeah. But I don't think that's
not
fair.
a mechanical world.
Well, no. I mean, obviously they're. I don't know though. I mean, if it's personal, but it's, you can look at somebody and tell, are they healthy? Are they not healthy? I mean, is that wrong to discern or to judge whether, if you see me eating,
tons of pizza?
Yeah, tons of pizza and Oreo, which is something that, I didn't put that on my top 5. I thought about it, but you'd already stole my thunder with the pizza, with the food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you look at somebody mechanically and you say, well, they obviously you're limping, there must be a problem with your. We need
one leg shorter than the other.
What could be? I know some people like that, but I'm just saying that what's the definitive? What's the answer here? What judgment is wrong? What judgment is right? Mm-hmm. That's something we probably need to get into later on. You brought up a really good subject. That's something that we need to write down. As something that we need to talk about, because I think there's a lot of people that are asking, is all judgment wrong?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's something we need to talk about. Okay, so top 5 things that are just, they're not good for you, Todd. Well,
I kind of got to jump on Steve's wagon there. I'm kind of the same deal. I want people to be real with me. I don't want fake. Go figure. I know. It's definitely important to know where people stand. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm the kind of guy that's going to give you the benefit of the doubt first.
Believe the best.
If I get the short end of the stick the first time, okay. But I always learn. And so I have a tendency to be a little apprehensive the second time. Mm-hmm. So not as quick to jump in with both legs. Mm-hmm. I might just kind of put my toe out there and say, well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
But so I would put that on one of my top 5.
That's really good.
But you're right. It is a good conversation piece. And people do play the judgment game, because once you do something, well, then where do you take it from there?
That's true.
So yeah,
and that's another good conversation that I think we need to have, is the forgiveness issue. Where what does it mean to forgive, and what does it mean to move on from that?
Or how do you forgive?
Not only how to forgive, but I mean, does forgive mean to forget? Does it mean to?
No.
Is it possible? Well, and I know that we might know.
Right.
What we think, but there's a lot of people out there that they feel like, well, if I'm gonna be like Jesus, then I've got to have that supernatural authority and business of forgetting what has happened to me. And there are millions of people that are living out there with condemnation in their life because they remember a hurt and they can't seem to forget it, and they think, well, that must mean I don't forgive them. And I think there's got to be a freeing conversation. Yes. Another one that we need to write that down, Steve. What are you doing over there? Yeah. Write it down, man.
Yeah. Do you have your pencil and paper? No. Yeah, okay.
He didn't know he's going to be doing clerical work. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2,
put it on your phone. Number 2, I'd have to say too hot of weather.
Oh,
come on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You have
so
to.
Where'd you come from?
I came from Washington State.
Where?
Okay.
Washington State. I know.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's beautiful over there, though.
I don't know.
The weather's perfect all the time, except it's a lot of rain, right?
A lot of rain. It's always green, though.
Always green.
Yeah.
Yes, Tim.
Nothing.
You look like you wanted to say something.
I was going to, but in the current room, in the current political climate, I'll keep my mouth shut. But you got here as soon as you possibly could.
I could. Yes.
Yes. He came to the mother country.
Yes. Texas. God bless Texas with His own hand.
That's right.
Brought down angels.
On this promised land.
I found one from California, believe it or not.
Oh, that would be your wife.
But I got her here.
Good job. Good. You didn't have to
got her. Did you got her here, or
she came here?
She came here. I thought she was in Arkansas when you first met her.
She was, but the Lord brought her here.
Wait, we need to talk about these real people thing, man.
Where are you going with that?
Well, I got her to Texas. She was in Arkansas, okay?
Oh, I got you. I understand. Okay, so
yes,
you
fake people,
hot weather,
too hot weather,
Yeah.
too much.
So you're not a big fan of Texas at the moment.
When it gets this hot, no.
Yeah.
I like to stay indoors where it's AC, or start my day out real early and then knock off early.
Marco? Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense, especially somebody that works outside a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a wise thing. Okay,
Yes.
so number 3, you don't like.
Plus, I'm very white. You know, I get out in that sun too much, and I start learning.
He is our resident Irishman. He's
Yeah.
got the red beard and
Yes,
he's
he
got
does.
the fair skin, and so he does not like to have the.
My freckles bust out.
All right, so you don't like fake people is what you said, right?
That's right.
And you don't like hot weather, and
Third would be probably car problems.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, see, if you don't have a brand new car,
if you don't have a Dodge Challenger. RT,
right,
8-cylinder that puts hair on your chest,
right,
then you might have a Envoy.
that you're constantly putting money into because you think, well, someday it's going to just keep running and I won't have to put any money into it.
That's about right.
Apparently,
I've had one of those too.
have you?
Yes.
Terrible. Nothing more that
I
will
finally, the guy that was doing the work for me said, Steve,
get rid of it.
it's time to get a new car.
Yes.
That's what happened in Steve's heart at that moment. Yes. And then he saw
Angel.
the Dodge Challenger
That's not
RT.
right. That was the other car.
Oh, it wasn't. That was the other car.
Yeah.
You had another car before the Dodge?
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other podcast. Okay, so you don't like car problems.
Don't like car problems.
You're intimately acquainted with car problems at the moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm very blessed with that.
Yeah, okay.
It teaches me patience, and it teaches me how to
Blow up
work
engines.
work through my problems. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
God is really
God's
blessed.
working on
He
you.
is. He's definitely playing a number on me.
Oh my gosh.
So
So I know that there are people out there that right now that are encountering car problems,
Yes.
and you know what Todd's talking about. That
Yes.
well, and plus you got how many cars out there sitting there without a chip, still waiting for them from China.
Really?
So yeah, you can't even buy a new car right now. Yeah.
Oh, I did
There's
not
little-
know this.
Oh yeah. You got to have this little chip in there, and we're getting them from China. So it's a used car lot market right now, but
It's very true. Yeah.
you can get a ton of money for your used car right now. But
Oh, that's why you're getting so much better prices on the used cars.
Oh yeah.
right, yeah.
But
But you can't get any parts for them now. So cars that are used usually need parts. They need to be fixed, and so all the dealerships and everybody who are buying up used cars are trying to buy up all the parts to fix them. So then you got back orders.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an ongoing. Well, it's a whole different. That's a different
that's a
discussion.
whole different podcast.
That's another podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
this could go on, but
That makes sense why.
Next week on Serenity Farm. Okay.
trying to fix your car, duct tape and rubber bands.
Farming chips.
I've got duct tape on my car.
That's right.
Oh, now we're getting good confession.
The splash guard that goes underneath there got busted. And
Did you hit a tire?
I hit something in the road, and so I've got it all duct taped until I can get me a new
That
splash
beau-
guard.
that-
Those splash guards aren't that expensive.
That
but
beautiful car,
it's all underneath. You can't see it.
and you've
You say
totally
it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
You go ahead and buy it now.
I need to. I need
It'll
to
be
buy.
expensive.
I need to buy the.
It's kind of like lumber prices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen lumber prices?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just bad.
$8.88 for a 2x4. Come on now.
Wow.
No. That's what I
That's
say
right.
all day long.
All day
Now I'm
long.
getting now I'm getting punchy. Yeah. All right. So that was
So-
4. Number 5.
That was 4.
That was 4.
Okay. Number 5. I would have to say. I think it was actually 3, wasn't it?
That was 4. You had fake people,
Fake people,
hot weather.
hot weather.
Was it
Car
only 3?
problem. Yeah, that was car
That was
problems.
car problems. Okay, now we're number 4. Number 4. Yep,
We're on
number
number 4. All right.
On number
So
4.
we're just learning how to count today.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, folks.
Hooked on Pahonix worked for me.
Dos.
Uno, dos,
Tres.
see?
Cuatro.
Hey, yo, let's stop talking in
Spanish?
tongues right now, okay?
Oh, is it tongues?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, going back to farming, I'd have to say pests.
Oh yeah.
Because one thing I've learned about Texas is when I've come to Texas, everything they said everything's bigger. And that means the bugs.
Yes.
The bugs are huge.
Mm-hmm.
And they eat in quantities that I can't keep up with.
Oh, man, I thought you were talking about telemarketers.
No, the ones that call you and say, "Hey, your warranty's up. I want to just talk to you about it." Yeah, no,
Yeah, I got you.
terrible.
But the pests that are getting in your corn and your
getting into the vegetables, getting into your crops and
moles.
And if you're trying to do organic, that's pretty tough because you're dealing with these bugs of Texas.
Mm-hmm. Those little army worms.
Army worms.
Is that what we got?
Squash bugs. What, the ones out here?
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about that.
Those army worms will kill things quick.
Yeah. They'll take out a crop.
So you don't like pests, you don't like car problems, you don't like hot weather, and you don't like
fake people.
So the next one.
Number 5. What would be number 5? Wow. I'd have to say cutting my vacation short.
Your vacation?
Yeah. You know, when you take a vacation
and
all of a sudden you have to cut it short. What? Chirp, chirp, chirp. Think about it. How unmotivating is that?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people plan for vacations? You tell me, audience.
Oh yeah.
You plan for your vacation.
Why'd you have to cut it short?
Well, it's certain circumstances. Maybe it's a work thing. Maybe it's a car thing.
Car thing could happen.
Oh, now that would stink. Yeah. Now we have been on vacation where the car goes down, and it's like, you want to talk about whopping your. Yeah.
That's why you have your car now, isn't it?
What? Yeah.
You got a new car because you get tired of that car.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but that's not even on my top 5. No. But it's up
there. I don't know why it isn't.
But you got COVID now. You can't go everywhere because oh man, can't do this, can't do that, can't do this.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that either, man. That's a whole other podcast too.
A
whole other podcast. That's going to become a trigger line. It's a whole other podcast. Yeah. It's another problem, and you're going to hear it here. I don't. If this is your first time, obviously this is your first time. This is the first one we've ever done, but we have particular views as well that I'm sure will get us into trouble. But at some point, at some place, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on some things, and that's just one of those things. But so you don't like to cut your vacation short?
No.
Nobody does.
No. I think that's why it was crickets, because I was like, well, who can argue with it?
I get you.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think anybody, especially when you're planning on being, asleep for 2 weeks and and you have to come back home. Okay.
What's really bad is if you're on your vacation and you get sick.
Oh,
it's like
another good reason to call it off early. No, that's terrible.
Well, I think the fun thing about this is that we get some really, really good glimpses into where you guys are at as far as, I know some of the life experiences that have come from Howard's side over here, Steve's side, the Ball Beauty, and over here with Redhead. Todd, we getting some of the stories that he's Serenity Farm guy. He's doesn't necessarily want to get into all the pest problems that are going on, doesn't want the hot weather. So you're kind of getting a glimpse into the individuals that are here. So I'm a little nervous about sharing mine now because I'm.
Oh no, you got to.
Now I'm.
Yep.
You can do it.
Thank you. All right, so oh my gosh. All right, so my top 5. I don't like it when people tell me that they're going to do something and then they don't get it done.
Oh, he's talking about me.
No, I'm talking about anybody that has that. I don't care if it's kids. I just don't like it when people are not
committed,
faithful to their commitments. Yeah. And anybody that knows me knows that if it's at all possible, unless somebody's dying or something has, and you'll be the first one to know, I am that guy that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And most of the time I try not to put, if it's going to be a large project, I try not to put a date on it because I don't necessarily want to try to get that happening without it making that happen. But, I understand that there are things that happen. You can't help it, but yeah, that's one of them. The other one is I don't necessarily like to be put off. So with my kids, I'll go, hey, listen, we need to get the dishes done. And I have one son, and I'm not going to name names. We're not going to do that because I don't want them to feel like they're being targeted. But I'm saying that I'll go to one son and I'll say, hey, listen, we need to get this done. And he'll go, and then he'll get up and he'll go and do his thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He'll get up and do it, but it's thin. It's Johnny on the spot.
I'm feeling you, Tim.
He's griping about it. I don't mind you, griping about something, but
Preach it, Tim.
I don't want what the other one does. Okay, I'll get it done. And then I wake up in the morning.
It's not done.
And it ain't done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I'm gonna string you up and button pushing. And I told you the Letches are like really good at it. My sons are no different. Yeah, they are really. And I know you're hearing me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, I don't like it when people blame God for things that they themselves are responsible for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Like,
just for the audience, you want to give an example?
Yeah. Okay. This is going to get me in some deep water. I don't like it when people say, guy walks into the church and starts shooting people. Mm-hmm. And they go, well, we just got to trust God. It's all part of his will. And that's a big problem for me. That guy coming in and shooting people was not God's will. No. That's not God.
Not at all.
That doesn't look like God. That doesn't act like God. No. That isn't part of his character. That doesn't look like that's not what. Don't stop blaming God.
There's your no button.
Yeah. No, we are not going to do that. And so and I told you theologically, that's one of the big ones for me. I don't want you to be blaming God for people problems. Yeah. And sin problems is what causes that kind of stuff. He was responsible for coming in and taking matters in his own hands and start shooting people. That's that guy's thing. He did it. He caused it. And I'm going to say this: sin kills everything. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you don't think it does. I don't care if it doesn't hurt you in the moment. It's going to destroy something down the road, whether you know it or not. You're not wise enough to be able to see that. And so I think that's probably number 2. You've got I've already said this one. Man, I'm already off on it. I don't like it when people tell me they're going to do things and then don't do them. I don't like to be put off. I don't like people blaming God for people problems. And I don't like people making excuses for their sin.
Oh, okay. For their sin.
Yeah. I don't like people saying, well, it's just my nature. This is just what I was created to do. This is what I was predestined to do. These are things that we're making excuses, every excuse for, their decision making and it being bad. I can't help it. It's just who I am. I can't seem to get past this. I'm not a perfect person. I get that none of us are perfect.
No.
None of us have got that level of perfection that God has on the throne at the moment. But we are being continually transformed by the renewing of our mind. We are being conformed into the image of his son. And if we're representing him, we don't have the excuse of continually dwelling in the pattern of sin. We don't have that excuse. We're supposed to deny ourselves and follow Christ. And so I think making excuses for those things is bad. And I think it's created an image of Christianity that's really wimpy and wussified. And it doesn't look like change at all. It looks like the same stuff. When you talk about divorce rates, or you talk about, and I've heard some people banter back and forth about that. But the continual watering down of Christianity to the place of where we are seeing the real-time results of watered, wussified Christianity. And instead of relationally being able to have conversation, we are making excuses about why we are doing the things we're doing and how those things, and almost justifying them. Like, okay, this is okay. This is all right. We can do this. You know why? Because I'm not perfect, or because I have a sin nature, or because of this. And I'm just, it's this big pet peeve for me. Mm-hmm. And then the number 1, which any one of those things could I just ruin my recommend. I just don't. Yeah. If I had to scream, I'd probably do it. But anyways, but what I think the number 1 thing that I can't stand is when there's injustice against innocent people.
Yes.
I don't like that. When I hear a story about somebody that's being wronged or something that's happening to someone, I think God's heart is for people that are being hurt unnecessarily. I think his heart goes out to those that are they can't defend themselves, that are being victimized, or any of those things. And I think that he would be a defender of those individuals. And I think that as people that have heart for the Lord, I think that we need to be driven by that same kind of love, that if we see injustice, that we need to do something about that. Yeah. We don't need to just sit back and go, okay, well, this is part of the world and the world we live in. And again, that goes to that number 2 is, we're making an excuse for sin, or we're justifying what we're doing, and saying, well, this is part of the nature. I get the world's bad. I get that we live in a sin nature. I get that. I understand that. What I'm saying, and when I say we live in a sin nature, you notice I didn't say I have a sin nature. Let's go ahead and I'll cross that bridge there too, and I'm sure I'll get thousands of Calvinists telling me how terrible I am for saying that. But I'm going to say this: that it's none of those things are an excuse to turn your head to an injustice or an evil and to declare those things as those are perfectly okay to exist in this world. It's not, and we need to be okay with calling those things out.
Yes.
So those are my big ones. Those are, and they're big, but they're big ones.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a little short break, and then we're just come back and finish things out, close this thing out with some final thoughts from you guys. And to pull this off, we're going to pull something from the vault.
The vault.
The vault.
Going back in time.
That's right. I used to be in a band called Fade Strange, and Steve knows this. When it first came out, I was pretty excited about it. But we wrote a song called Resurrect Me, and so we're going to go ahead and listen to that song while we are taking a short break. You guys listen to this. Have fun with it. All right, that was Fade Strange from 2009. Good night. It's been a minute. 12 years. Wow. Yeah, we got in the studio and did that, and that was a fun little project.
Can you buy that now?
What was that, Todd? I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you buy that now?
Well, you could buy that, or you could just let me know that you're interested, or you can donor on Patreon.
Yeah.
On the thing, and we can get them for free. So just, I don't know if that's called free if you have to donate something to get it.
Well, supporting your local,
supporting the podcast, but sure. Yeah, that was a fun little project, and shout out to Marty Maxon and Rob Hope, and good night. I got to remember everybody.
Glad you didn't say Bob Hope.
No, Rob Hope, which is we did make fun of that, but we won't talk about it. Yeah, Marty Maxon, Rob Hope, Candle, Russell, Candle Hester, Candle. Man, I don't remember what her last name is now, but Allred, that's what it is, Candle Allred. And then my wife was part of that, and let's see who else was on that. Joel Orr. Joel Orr is a phenomenal guitar player. If you've never heard of him, he's really great. Who else was on that band? Pete Burkett.
It's a big band.
It was a big band. We got to tour out and have a good time in northern states. Went to Ohio and Indiana and Missouri and Illinois, and then we came on home. But we paid for the paid for the recording. It was pretty awesome.
Did y'all write those songs together, or did you write most of those?
I wrote 9 of those songs, and one of those songs, well, I'm sure we'll play one of these times for you. It's called "Play on My Harp of Gold," and that was an old hymn. My grandma and grandpa recorded that at Jimmy Swaggart's recording studio in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, it's a cool story. So anyways, all right, so final thoughts, guys. Obviously, we got a lot to talk about in the next couple of weeks. Next week, we're going to have guests, Jim and Dee Patton here. Probably just one of them because we only have one more mic in the studio. And one of them will tell the story while the other one is busy correcting them, I'm sure. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that dynamic goes. Because that's how my grandparents do it. When they're talking, one of them starts telling the story, and then the other one has to jump in and have that conversation. Or, we'll see what happens. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
They can share, Mike.
But we're going to talk
back and forth.
Well, they could, yeah. Grab the mic. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think what we ought to do is we ought to have an arm wrestling contest to see who wins.
We could. I bet you D takes him.
I bet D takes him. Yeah. Yeah. No, we know you'll win, Bald Beauty, but
I don't know about that.
All right. So what we will be talking about next week, and we will have more of a flow, a format. With the structure of the podcast. We're just kind of testing things out today and introducing ourselves to you. But next week, we're going to be talking about radical provision and talking about God's ability to provide, Jehovah Jireh, all those great stuff in a relevant and a relational topic.
Awesome.
In real ways. So we're going to hear a great story from Jim and Dee about that and kind of breach that topic and talk about it with us. Maybe we have some stories to come on. You don't know because you... I'll have to come back next week just to find out. But until that time, I just want to tell you, my name is Tim Letsch, PT, and I will see you next week with
Steve Howard
and Todd Bergin.
And we'll see you next time on PT Podcast.